Tonight is July 21st, 2024, and it's time for meditation. Roseanne's our newest joinee, right? Roseanne is my neighbor, and like I'm actually social, you guys, with Roseanne and Dave, and I'm never social, but but I am with them. So I'm glad you're here, Roseanne. And I was trying to think of a Dharma talk, as I always try to do, and then I either have one ready or I don't. And I certainly didn't prepare for this Dharma talk, but I'm going to explain what just happened. I was like, aha, that's perfect for my Dharma talk. So this weekend, it's like the first weekend that I've had in a long time where I have no homework due. Normally, I'm a stark raving lunatic about schoolwork. I realize I cannot have something holding over my head. Like I can't have something due. It doesn't matter what it is, work-wise, whatever, but homework especially, I don't do well. My nervous system doesn't do well. So I always have to be like weeks ahead in order for me to feel okay. Poor Linda's been hearing me talk about this freaking paper forever. So I've finished my thesis, I'm done. And then we get a message from the teacher last Thursday that like, she's basically telling the group, like, we should start our paper, but even though she hasn't graded our outline or approved our outline. So I had a heart attack, like, what? I just finished it. So what do you mean you haven't approved it? So basically she was saying like, everyone should start your paper, start collecting your information, but she alluded to the fact that she might tweak our outline and put us in a whole other direction. And my brain was like, sister, I don't care what you tweak on my thesis. It's done. I don't care. But I do care. So I realized now I have to wait before I submit it because I have to see what changes she's making. And in all of that, that leaves me kind of stalemated where I am. I'm finished, but I'm not really finished until I hear from her, which means I have time on my hands. And I've got 8,000 things I could be doing. I have drawers I can clean out. I got a kitchen cabinets I could do. I've got a lot of things, as we all do, right? There's always something more that can be done. But I'm like, no, Deborah, why don't you relax? Why don't you come in and be present? You know, like I talk about every week with everyone, be present, being, getting our beingness. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be. No, I don't know how to be at all. I do not know how to be. So then I decided, all right, I got this book for when I was done with school. It's called The Monk and the Butterfly. I got this book. So since I don't have schoolwork, I'm going to go and read the book. I'm going to relax on my back deck and read the book because it's all about stories of Zen and the art of change. So I thought, yeah, that'll get me so Zen and centered. So I was like, okay, all right, I'm reading the book. Greg came out and took a phone call outside, and I'm like, okay, I love you so much, but I was about to read my book. Now I hear him on the phone. I get distracted about 12 times. So now I'm like, it's fine, Deb, it's fine. But I do feel that inner voice that's sort of like, mama's going to blow a gasket if she doesn't either find something productive to do or if I don't chill. Like it has to be one or the other. I can't reside in this no man's land. So I'm like, grab hold of that ADD. You're going to read the Zen book. And I felt myself being really, really intensely tense about reading the Zen book, which kind of gave me a chuckle because I'm like, that's the opposite of what it's all about now, isn't it? So I started reading it and I was like, okay, be one with each word, slow it down, breathe between sentences, make this whole thing a practice. Hear the birds as I'm out on the deck, enjoy the air, get present. it was all in great intention. Then I'm getting aggravated with the Zen book because I'm like, this is stupid. This is not what I thought it was. So now I'm tense. Stay with me here. I do have a point. I'm getting tense and I'm like, it's fine. Just like every Zen little snippet in here, we have all heard. It's all the traditional Zen, like the whole grandfather meets the grandson, and it's like, it's the end of the story is like, depends on which wolf you want to feed within yourself, the wolf of anger, the wolf. So it's all like a very basic, like common Zen things. So I'm like, okay, your ego, Deb, is now attached because like these already. So I'm trying to relax and just be, right? But getting so pissed that I bought this book. I don't know, $6 on Amazon. It's not making or breaking the bank. I'm so annoyed at the book. I'm convincing myself that AI wrote it. It's not a real book. I mean, I'm going nuts in my mind. And I was like, why don't you just put the book down, Deb? This is clearly not working for you. I put the book down and I started watching the dogs. And I kind of lost myself in whatever. And the moral of the story for the Dharma talk tonight is like, we can't try to be. And I kind of feel like Yoda, it's like either we are being or we are not being. We can't try to be. I was trying to be, and trying to be is like, especially for me, is a recipe for disaster. So that brought on this whole thought of like, when I let it go and I did truly like find humor in myself in that moment, because it was either humor or just total frustration. I was going to go one path or the other, and I did choose humor. Guess I fed the right wolf in this moment. But with levity, I was able to like, oh my God, enjoy the light night. You're outside. Everybody's good. Like, what more do I want? Like, what more? And that was my whole thing. Don't try to be. As soon as I let it go, and I was just like, I'm just sitting on the deck. That's all I'm doing. Maybe I can call myself lazy. Maybe I can call myself not productive. I don't need to call it anything. And as soon as that happened, Greg came back out, sat down, Jack came back out. Chris's girlfriend got here before Chris got home, and we were all engaged in just like a very pleasant conversation. And I was like, this is being. Like now I'm just being. And I had been trying for hours to be something. So when you find yourself trying to be peaceful, trying to be calm, happy, healthy, positive thinking, whatever it is, just know it's probably not going to work. It's probably not going to work. So it's better to just kind of throw in the towel, give in, eat the chocolate, have the drink, whatever it is, whatever the vice is, click add to cart. I don't really care what it is, but it might be better to do that than like this whole angst of like 3 hours of trying to be. So that is my Dharma talk tonight. We can't try to be. It's either we're being or our being is trying to be. And trying to be is not the same. It sucks. And I can't wait till I have my instructions from my professor so I can finish the hell out of this paper and I can be done once for all, and I can say check on the Deborah Hanlon self-goal list that I'm finally a human being. I validated myself because I did this thing. And I'm attached to all the outwardly bullshit that I keep talking about not being attached to. But here we are. We're all human. And that's what this is about. That's what this journey's about. So on that note, I hope that helps us to actually get into our beingness, our true authentic beingness tonight. So if you have expectations for yourself or what this night's going to be or what you need out of it, just address that within yourself and then let it go. Let it go, let it be. You're going to be exactly wherever you're going to be. So on that note, let's get ourselves in our meditation position And Roseanne, you can keep your cameras on, you can turn them off. It totally is whatever is comfortable for you. So when we come back, Roseanne will do the meditation for however long that is. I do have to set my timer for that. Um, and then when we're done meditating, you can log off at any time, but I do usually suggest staying for the conversation piece, and you can log off in the middle of it. But I do feel like the conversation afterward is often very helpful for processing whatever does or does not happen for you during the meditation. So get yourselves in your comfortable upright position. And just before you even close your eyes, unless you already have, if you already have, keep them closed. But before you do that, I want you to truly arrive to this moment. Be here right now. And that's a big statement. Being here right now, our brain wants to process that. Our brain wants to figure out what that even means. And really, all it means is, well, a lot of things individually, what it means to you. And to me, also, it's kind of notice what tabs are still open in your brain for the day, maybe for the week coming up. Maybe there was an interaction that's unsettled. Maybe there's a desire. Maybe there's something unsettled inside yourself, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever. So just be aware of yourself in this moment and give full permission for yourself to be exactly where you are in this moment. And not knowing where you are at in this moment is an answer, is an acceptable. I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what I'm being. That's what it is. And then when you feel ready, you can go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to take a nice deep, we call it a mindful breath, which just means you're aware of the sensations, how it feels when you take a deep breath in, and then be aware of how it feels when you breathe out. It is helpful for your system if you almost exaggerate the breath a little bit. Make the inhalation very deep, maybe very slow. And then as you exhale, even exaggerate the sound so you can hear yourself breathing. As you're noticing those breaths and what it feels like to breathe in, and as you listen to that breath, just notice your body in space right now. You can let your shoulders relax and drop away from your ears. Be mindful that your posture is still upright, but not tense. And as you notice the inhalation and the exhalation, notice how either your chest or your abdomen or both rise and fall with each breath. Let the thinking mind relax just a little bit. So if your mind is wondering if you're doing it right, if you're breathing too deeply or not deeply enough, whatever the mind likes to do, just kind of soothe the mind and remind yourself that you don't have to work too hard right now. And let the mind's focus be less about thinking and more about observing. Observing how it feels to breathe. We're observing how it feels to be sitting in our seat. We're even observing what self-dialogue, inner dialogue, the mind wants to make about what it feels like to breathe and about what it feels like to sit. I want you to imagine the mind is like a baby, and you're just gently rocking the baby or soothing the baby, telling the baby it's okay to rest. So we're working on quieting the mind. Bring your attention to your face and relax any of your facial muscles, including your forehead, your cheeks, your jaw, your lips, your teeth, your tongue. I like to imagine the facial muscles are like wax on a candle and they just start to melt. You can relax your neck and throat. Relax your shoulders and both arms, allowing the arms to fall heavy at your sides or on your lap or wherever is comfortable for you. Notice the rise and fall of your chest with every breath. And then on your next exhale, let the breath in the chest just relax. Relax the rib cage. And then the abdomen. Imagine the side body relaxing. And the lower back. And even imagine your spine at the very base of your skull is like a chain link fence that is, or a chain link that's been sort of kinked and tangled up. Just using your mind's eye, imagine all the kinks come out of the chain of your spine. Your spine is elongated, healthy, strong, relaxed. And as the spine unkinks itself, your hips and your pelvis become loose. Relax both legs from the hip bone all the way down through your knees, through your shins and calves and ankles, all the way down to your feet. Just using your imagination, just imagine that there's this gentle, supportive, loving, almost like magnet drawing your feet into the earth. You're not anchored into the earth. It's more that the earth is pulling you, grounding you to itself so that you feel supported. Almost cradled as you stand on the earth. Bring your attention back to your breath, noticing the sensation and the ebb and flow of each inhalation and exhalation. And on every exhale, just imagine your jaw becoming looser and relaxing your tongue. Let your eyelids fall heavy and relaxed. Give yourself full permission to just be wherever you're at in this moment. And take a few silent breaths. And if there's tension anywhere in the body, notice it. Even shift your posture, position, so that you can sink in to your seat in your chair in this moment. And if the mind pops up a random thought, notice it, let it be, and then just bring your attention back to your breath and back to your body. Let your body begin to sink into your space in the here and now. And I want you to just use your imagination and imagine that the room that you're sitting in becomes like a dark, dark room. Not a dark in a scary way, but in a dark way that feels soothing and calming to the senses. Imagine, even if there are sounds that you could hear outside the room you're in now, just imagine that this darkened room becomes soundproof, quiet. It's your own personal sanctuary. If you need light or whatever you need to feel safe and secure, just in your mind's eye, create that to happen. The point is to imagine yourself sitting in a really safe, quiet, calming space. Just like if you put a baby to sleep in its crib, you create the perfect atmosphere for that little being to feel safe and snuggled, relaxed and calm. That's where you are right now. You can even imagine yourself bundled up or laying in a hammock or a bed. Just begin to imagine that yourself is so fully relaxed, so safe, so calm. That all healing energy gets to get injected into your body. And as you're imagining yourself sleeping or laying, I want you to imagine also that there is all of a sudden a doorway. It's either a trap door in the floor or a doorway anywhere in your room. Just imagine that gently opens up. You allow your physical body to stay resting, laying, sleeping. Just imagine your energy body gets up out of your body and go towards that door that's gently opening. And imagine there's a brilliant light just beyond the door, and as it opens, that light gets brighter and brighter. And although that light is bright, it feels warm and inviting, safe and intriguing. And imagine yourself walking through that door, and you can simultaneously imagine yourself getting both energized and super relaxed as you enter into that light space. And imagine that as you walk through that door, it's almost like you're directly onto a staircase, and feel yourself walking downward. If you're already walking upward, continue with that. Walk on the staircase, imagining yourself feeling step by step and almost feeling pulled towards the bottom of the staircase or the top, whichever works for you. And note this sense of curiosity inside yourself as you make each step by step. And whatever's at the very end of the staircase, just imagine that's pulling you, drawing you, calling you. Let the curiosity be enjoyable. Maybe your staircase is a tall staircase, very high. Maybe it's spiral. Maybe it's very narrow. Maybe it's very wide. Use your imagination or just notice. There's no right or wrong way. Just notice your staircase. And imagine that you're so close to reaching the end of that staircase. And find your way to the very end. And feel the floor underneath you. And look back at that staircase, just seeing how far you've come. You can look all the way up the staircase or all the way down, depending on whether you went up or down. Notice that door that you walked in on. It remains open for you to retreat to anytime. Here you find yourself in a wide open space. And imagine that space has gentle lighting. Begin to look around, just using your imagination. See if there's anything you can observe in this space that you are. Maybe you're inside, maybe you're outside. Maybe you're not sure. Just use your imagination, look around. Allow the mind to identify or describe anything you can around you, if anything. Continue to look around. There's no right or wrong. Try to get as many details as you can. And just using your imagination. Anything you imagine you can place there. No matter where you are, inside, outside, in the sky, in the universe, wherever you are, imagine that there is a couch somewhere in the fairly near vicinity that catches your eye. And it's far enough away for you to identify it as a couch. Let yourself begin to walk towards that couch, that seat, that chair. Imagine yourself being drawn to it. And when you get closer to it, see what characteristics you can observe about the couch. It might be comfy, it might be pristine, it might be a couch from your past or your present. It might be in complete disrepair. There's no right or wrong. Just observe your couch. Doesn't have to make any sense whatsoever what you're seeing. And then feel drawn to go and sit down on that couch wherever it's possible. And then imagine as you sit down, no matter what the appearance of your couch is, imagine that your energy relaxes even more and sinks in deeply. It's almost as if the couch itself or the seat itself is pulling away any more tension or stress or dis-ease in the body, the mind, the spirit. You can feel completely relaxed and yet alert, pleasantly alert on this couch. And I want you to look to your left or your right and notice there's an energy, a being, someone sitting right next to you on this couch. And this may be someone who's still physically living. This might be a loved one who's passed. It might be someone you know or someone completely strange. You might physically see them, you might not. Just sense and imagine, notice, observe the energy beside you. Notice if they're to your right or your left, just as an observation. And recognize that that being, that person, has been waiting for you in this spot all day, all week, all month. And if you recognize them, you can allow them to greet you with a huge hug, a huge hello, and treat it as if it's a true surprise that they're with you in this moment. If you don't know the energy or not sure, you can decide whether to engage in a hug and an embrace. This being and this energy has been waiting for you. They are pure love. And you get to decide how you greet them. And you can begin to interact with this person or this being. If there's no one there, you can use your imagination and put anyone you wish there. If there's multiple people, you can interact as however you wish. But begin to engage in conversation. Let them tell you how happy they are to see you. Imagine their number one priority is for you to feel loved, seen, and supported by this person, this being. And imagine their presence alone is helping your body, your mind, your spirit, mentally, emotionally, physically. Just their presence alone is helping you heal parts of yourself, known and unknown, that need healing. yourself. Just be with this experience, connecting with this person, allowing your mind to wander. Wherever you want to go in this moment, let yourself go and be. If you're not sure what to do, allow yourself to feel love, seen, supported, acknowledged. Yourself, just be in the silence. Your mind wanders, and your attention to your breath, your attention to yourself, connecting with this person or being. Where your stillness alone is quite healing. Imagine the person that greeted you on the couch stands up, reaches out their hand. You stand up beside them, And they walk you down a path. And that path stops at a tall gate or a tall door. Imagine you can see through this gate or this door. And on the other side of it is the room that you're meditating in. And imagine you can see yourself sitting in your chair. And listen as this person who's greeted you reminds you they're always present for you. They're always accessible. And they open the gate or the door and they walk you right over to your chair and feel yourself sitting right back down where you started. They're still holding your hand. They sit down next to you, either on the floor or in the next closest spot for them to sit in your room. And then imagine their energy sort of evaporates. But as they evaporate, their energy leaves a color. It's almost like a cloud that begins to sort of just evaporate or rise. And watch as that colorful mist or cloud-like energy becomes clear in your room. They actually sort of melt into or blend into the room that you're in. And their energy is present. Breathe their energy in. They're so close. And then bring your attention to your chair, your bed, whatever you're sitting on. You don't have to say goodbye to your person because they are still present energetically. You can begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes whenever you're ready, and only when you're ready. Begin to keep your eyes closed, but gently stretch or twist or move your body in whatever ways your body needs to move. Feel yourself completely coming back into your body and your chair, acknowledging whatever that experience was like for you. Feel your body becoming almost like 3D again. Notice your legs, your hips, your abdomen. Notice your spine, your shoulders, your chest. Notice your neck, your throat, your head, your face. And when you feel ready, and only when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Only open your eyes when you feel ready. Let yourself acclimate to the room around you. Come fully back into your body. Do this in your own time. When you're ready, you can turn your cameras back on and come fully back into the room, but only when you're ready. And reminding you that you can all log off at any time. So there's no, we're always done at or by 9:30 p.m., but you can always log off at any point. It's never offensive to log off early. You have to really pay attention to what you need and want to do. So if you feel like you want to stay in a calm space and log off, by all means, go ahead and do that. And for those of you still on, by show of thumbs, thumbs up means you liked it, thumbs down means you didn't, thumbs middle means it was so. How was that for everyone? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs, I'm not middle, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Excellent, good, excellent. That was 40, 43, 40. Oh God. I'm trying to do the math, how long that was. At 8:43, my alarm went off. And that was 13 minutes ago. So that was 40. I can't do math. 44 minutes long. Thereabouts. We'll say nice even 45. 45 minutes long. So how many of you felt like that was really long, or how many of you felt that was like really short? Short, short, short. Oh, isn't that funny? Like we're creating our own sign language right now. Like we're totally connecting, knowing what you're saying. Does anyone want to share your experience and instead of like giving the blow by blow, if there's like a takeaway that you had that you want to share, or if, well, I want to know who had like this really ridiculous couch, like almost like springs coming through it, because I kept feeling like someone had like either a dilapidated couch or a couch that like had springs coming through or it almost looked like cartoonish to me, but it wasn't mine. So I was curious, like, oh, whose couch looks uncomfortable? You don't have to share it if it's you, but I always like to hear it because I don't think it was mine. Um, so yeah, anyone want to share your experience? We go through this every week, 20 years later. Yes, Christine, thank you.
So our couch was, it looked like it had been through the war, but it was the most comfortable couch my parents ever bought. So when I bought my house, my mom had gotten new furniture and I took the couch. And every time they would come over to my house, my mom would sit on that and she'd be like, "This is the most comfortable couch we've ever owned." And at that point, it was well over 20 years old, but it was comfortable. But the cushions were threadbare and the flowers were faded, but it was the most comfortable couch they ever had. And so that's immediately where I went, was my old house, sitting on that old couch. And I had a love seat next to it, and my dad ended up showing up and he was sitting on in his spot on the love seat. But I kind of it was bizarre because I was cleaning, like you said, there's always something to be done. And today I was going through boxes and boxes of old cards and pictures. And there was a Target bag with a bunch of cards like separated. And I pulled them out before I even realized what they were. And they were the cards from when my dad passed that I haven't looked at. And my mom said, just put them somewhere. And it was 2015. So what is it, 9 years?
Wow.
So for the first time today in 9 years, I went through them all and was shocked by some of the one, like not shocked, but surprised by some of the people that had sent cards, and not surprised by others. And so it was just, as soon as you said somebody sitting on like the couch came back, and then I kind of asked for this because it's the first time that I was like, I think I can go through them. Like, and it wasn't, I mean, I don't want to say it wasn't heartbreaking, but it was bittersweet to go through. And the stack is huge. And at first I was like, I forgot there was that many. And then when I read the friends that had sent, it was kind of neat. And the house that we have now, we built a year after he was gone. So when he walked me back to my room, I'm like, this is the house you didn't get to see.
Mm.
So yeah. And that was really short for me because it felt really short, but I needed that. So it was perfect. It was the perfect ending to what I done earlier today.
Wow, I'm getting all like choked up just like thinking about it, the whole thing. And we haven't done a meditation where we meet like someone like a loved one like this in
Mhm.
a little while. So it's interesting how
And it was
that all
totally
played out.
green in the heart chakra. Like was just it was a green mist, and then it was totally, yeah.
Wow.
So and
Oh,
my
and
hand was something. So
I love that you also get to like saying this is the house you didn't get to see. Like those are those strange gnawing things at us that like nobody really talks about that we wonder. Like, man, did they know this happened? Did they know that I moved here? Did they see this? Like they do, but we don't get that physical connection that they did physically. So we wonder. And that's like one of those latent grief things
mhm.
where it's like, oh, I just want them to know, do they see where I'm at now? Do they see how well I'm doing? Or do they see how not well I'm doing? Whatever the case may be.
And got married too because he wasn't here for that either. I mean, he knew JD for years, but yeah,
Wow. Yeah. So that's like just they do see, they do know, but we don't know that they see and know.
yeah.
Oh, I love that. It's a perfect, like you said, perfect ending to the day. And just reminding and for Roseanne, like this is different every week and it's co-created. Like I don't have an agenda of what I am gonna do with us. And anytime I do, it like never works that way. So even if I have a plan, like this is what we're gonna do for meditation, it's not that. I'm like, it's channeled through me. So every week is totally different. So thank you for that addition, Christine. Anyone else want to share? Anyone have thoughts? Anyone not see someone? Anyone wanting to see someone? Sometimes we see someone we don't really want to see, and we don't see who we do want to see. There's so many different possibilities that happen. Bueller?
Uh,
Rosie, yes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Um, I I love the staircase analogy or uh, travel, the path. And the person who sat next to me is someone I've never met. I don't know who they are.
Oh my gosh, did you get a sense? Was it male or female?
They all very, very big, very strong personality. The energy coming on the side of me was unbelievable.
Hmm.
Yeah, so very enjoyable and peaceful. And it took a little bit for me to get settled in because someone in the house, and there's only one other person right now, is grinding coffee beans, so I can smell them
A little distraction. Um, what side were they sitting on? Just curious.
on my left.
Your left. And
Mhm.
when did they feel tall to you? Did they feel
Tall,
short? Tall
yeah,
and
male.
loving. And did you ask like who it was or question or have any kind of conversation or dialogue?
No, but I felt lots of warmth and as I said, energy and safe and cared for.
Mm, that's the best feeling.
It was very good.
Oh, I'm so glad, Roseanne. I'm
Thanks.
so glad you're here. I'm waving out my window to you. How do you feel now in this moment?
Good, good. Yeah, yeah. It's necessary. I need to meditate. It's been a while.
Yeah, we all do. We all do. I
Thank
needed to. 7 hours today, I needed to. I couldn't wait to get here. So I'm glad. And you can anytime we have someone we're not sure who they are, I do feel like it'll be revealed to you. Like, I mean, it might not be, but it'll be revealed to you. And it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, that was so and so's dad, or that was my dad, or that was my whatever. It's more of an inward, how do I even explain it? It's like an inward knowing of like, oh my gosh, I understand who that was. They might be a physical person or they might not be,
Mhm.
but I do feel like it'll be revealed over time.
Good.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who else wants to talk? Yeah, go ahead, Laura. Laura
Surprise.
usually kicks us off. Yeah.
I know, I waited. This was a wild ride for me. First on the stairwell thing, I was on, it was almost like an escalator and it was going up, but I was trying to go down before you even said up or like whichever told us to
Yep.
go whichever way. So I was just in this like not moving, but trying really hard. I think I was visualizing your Dharma talk. And then I'm like, wait, I can just go with the flow. So I went up. And so it was like, oh, right, this is so much easier. Um, but then the part that got crazy was when you had us go to the couch, and I was in a red velvet couch, and when we had someone come to us, in my I could hear my cat running from the other room across the house and hopped into my lap and was rolling around like hi. It was so crazy. Like it was just I was like hello this I felt like it was my old cat Jasper, who was 22 years old, who I feel is kind of my soulmate.
Mhm.
um so it was just crazy because it just yeah, he was like, anyway. And then I cried for the next 20 minutes, like bawling. So it was like, and it was very much, it was like everybody, like just missing everybody and telling
Mhm.
everybody that I missed them, all my, everybody, my family. And then when you had us walk to the gate, I had this, it was almost like a team at the end of a football game when you win. They were all kind of holding me up and all these sparkling colors and taking me to the gate. And then it was so cool to see myself, because that part was really clear, to see myself bawling from outside. And then
Mhm.
it kind of just all came together peacefully right at the end. So it was very cathartic, very emotional, and kind of fun with the cat. So I don't know.
I love it. The cat was totally feeling the energy.
Yeah,
You know,
I've never, I mean, because they usually come and kind of sit by me. I have two, but the galloping in across the house, like, and then just hopping into my lap, it was fun.
oh, I love it. Oh, that's beautiful. And that cathartic release. Anyone else feel like emotional at some point during it? That emotional release is like the burst of energy that we have. We call it stuck, although that's not totally the best. It's not totally accurate energetically, but we humans, we call it stuck. We're stuck. We feel stuck. Um, but yeah, it's like a nice movement when we cry. It's the
Yeah,
best.
it was quite a cry. Whew.
Oh, good. I love those cries. I
But
mean,
yeah, because then it
no,
tied
yeah.
up kind of in a bow right at the end. It was, so it's like, okay, I'm good. Yeah, it's gone now.
Yep, like I'm good. Right. I'm back on the
Yeah,
field. I got this.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I can get that. I can go back on the field and play. Oh, awesome. Love it. Someone else was just raising their hand. Oh, maybe when I asked, Anyone else feel emotional? Yeah, a couple of people raised their hand. Anyone else want to share? Yeah, Linda, go ahead.
So much like Laura had said, I was in water before you said staircase. I was going up through water, and then you said staircase down, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll try that, and it just didn't feel right. So I just went back up to the water, and then I was out on a beach. And when you said couch, I was chuckling to myself because I thought, oh, this is great. I can have this really big, cozy couch on this great beach, and that's awesome. Um, and then when who came, immediately it went to my mother, and then that didn't feel right for some reason. I don't know why. And then my aunt. But then as you were talking, I don't know, I got really conflicted here for
Mm.
several things. And then it was my aunt, who is not her sister, but my dad's sister. And so I don't know, some of the things that you said, it just then I thought, no, okay, it is my mother, but maybe they're both there. But at the end, when you said have them they stand up and take your hand, I immediately got teary eyed, and that was my mother walking me back.
Mm.
And I thought, oh, she doesn't get her hair wet, so we can't go through the water. She hated going underwater. So I thought, oh, okay, we can't do the water. It's okay. We'll just stay right here and kind of just like walk through it just really quickly while walk through, and then boom. And and I saw the green, like Christine too, at the end.
Love it. That is so, what I also love too is how funny how much all of our brains want to do logic. Like, oh, she doesn't like water. You know what I mean? Like it always makes me laugh at how like we're sitting in a chair, we're using our imagination, but our brains always want to like interject what it thinks it knows. You know, and it wants to put that on us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really funny you said the thing about the water. And Laura, in my visual meditation, there was a trap door and the staircase went down. And as I was going down, I'm hearing some people are going up. And I'm like, oh, well, I better account for that. I better account for like, it's okay, you're either going up or down. And then all of a sudden I saw like something sort of like, it wasn't even that I did see it, but it was more of a like, but what about the water? Not even kidding. What about the water? You should have been in water. Everyone should have been in water. Like we should have been to the water. It wasn't like the beach, the ocean, the lake. It was like you should have been in the water. And I'm like, the water, it's too late for water. In my mind's eye, in my head, I'm like, it's too late for water. We're on the staircase. There's no water. So it's really funny when you mentioned water. I'm like, oh, you brought the water.
The water.
Yeah, I was like, where am I gonna put water now? I think no, we were on the couch. I think that's when it was. And I was like, we're already on a couch where there's no water. And talk about that. So super, super cool how like that's our consciousnesses are connected. And the conflict with mom and aunt is intriguing. Definitely a good one to not necessarily think about and ruminate about, but almost like let yourself feel it versus overthinking it. But
I felt a little bit of a release actually, because then of course, I actually saw the moon in the pic when I came out of the water. I was on the beach, and then there was the moon, and of course tonight's the full moon, and all of that with it. And part of it is releasing old patterns and behaviors and karmic things. And I thought, okay, you can let that go, and maybe it feels better that she's here now, type of thing. So I think that, yeah, I think that was kind of it too.
all makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Isn't it I'm always amazed at how different everyone's experience is too, because this is just really like a glimpse of our own selves every week. How we process things, how we think of things, kind of like dreams. You know, when dreams come up from the unconscious, that's what we're doing. It's like we're dreaming awake almost. Anyone else? Yeah, Vicky, go ahead.
Let me make sure I'm on. Yeah. So it was interesting. I'm so glad you said to go up because when I had a choice, I wanted to go up, where I wanted to go. And I don't want to get too emotional, but of course I'm going to. I
Mhm.
went exactly where I thought up. And there I was in my old house, gold couch, two cats that had passed.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm so emotional. And there was my husband. And we sat on the couch facing each other. It wasn't forward or backward, but it was facing each other. And and then I was a total mess. I'm so glad no one could hear me.
Mhm.
I had my legs just wrapped around him. He was a big man, 6'5", 6'6". And
Mm.
I could smell his cologne. And it was just so real. And when you said it was like 40 minutes, I was like, no, it felt like 2.
Mhm.
And when you said to stand up, I'm like, no, I'm not ready. But he
Mm.
took my hand and, he said wonderful things. Everything was good. And, you said the gate, and it was a gate. And I knew, I was like, oh, damn it, we're going to go back through the door and it's time to end. And I wasn't ready. And so we come back, and as you know, I recently moved, and different couches, different chairs, almost everything's new. And I'm short, I'm 5'4", and so is my daughter. And we got this little barrel chair we found, and it was hysterical at TJ Maxx. And both of us are like rolling it onto the cart and taking it out, and we're laughing hysterical. And so he brought me over to the couch where I'm sitting now. And then he sat in the barrel chair, and again, he was almost 6'6", and his knees are up to, his chin. And he's like, really? He's like, why would you buy this thing? He's like, I visit. Why would you buy this thing? And I'm just laughing because all of our furniture in our big house was huge. And that's why I don't have it anymore, because I'm not in a big space. And I can still see, like, it's to my right, and I can still see, him just laughing, and his smile is just so funny. And my color when he left was purple, and ironically I have about 6 to 8 purple candles lit in here, but it was also his favorite color. So yeah, it was definitely my favorite for sure,
Mm.
for many reasons, as you know, and it was definitely needed, and I'm really glad I was able to join tonight, because good timing, we'll just put it
Oof.
that way.
I'm getting
Good
total
timing.
chills. Everything you're saying keeps giving me like those truth chills. And I
Yeah,
know, like, I feel so happy like you had that.
I needed it.
Yep. Yep.
I'm
Oh,
not saying anybody else didn't, but yeah, I needed this tonight. So thank you.
I'm so glad he rose to the occasion for sure.
Yeah. He always showed up. He always
Yep.
showed up.
Yep. He's a loud one. When I say loud too, I don't mean like volume loud, like
Yeah.
energetically loud, present energy.
Yeah.
And how do you feel in this moment? Because sometimes when we visit, people have passed and then we have to come back like, oh no, I don't want to go back into the room. Sometimes there's also that pang, that deep pang. So I just want to acknowledge that too, that even though it felt good for the visit, sometimes the visit elicits a hurt too. So we
Yeah.
want to honor
And
that.
I felt that at first, but like I said, I keep looking over at the chair, and I know he's not, like, I can't see him, but I just see that smile, and it was just, oh my God, I love that man so much. Everything about him. So yeah, the smiles,
Mm.
I see him, and I'm just like, wow. And it's so funny because I remember I was like, hey, I don't need a chair. She's like, we're getting this chair. And, yeah, I feel the chair was just for tonight because I've never sat in it.
I love it. I bet you Kay will love to hear this too,
Yeah, I'll
especially when
definitely.
she's with you with the chair and it's a whole thing with the chair.
Yeah. So yeah, tonight was worth the price of admission a bazillion fold, if you know what
Yep.
I mean. So
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you. I'm so glad. I
Yeah.
love when we have those experiences and those
Yeah.
meetings. Those are
Yeah, I just feel a
important.
lot lighter now. It felt so heavy, but yeah, I feel a lot lighter. Like I didn't lose any weight, but I feel lighter. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so glad. Anyone else want to share? Anyone not sure who they saw? Yeah, Leanne, go ahead.
I went like out, so I have no idea what you're all talking about. Like I'm so excited to hear everybody, and I'm like, what couch? There was a couch. What? There was a color. Oh God, there was a color, and I missed it. I have no idea. From from the minute the door opened and the light shined, that was when it completely just went poof. And the next thing I know, you're like, all right, so who's gonna start talking? And I'm like, I wonder what happened.
I love, those are my favorite meditations where it's like we go and like we always say, it's like, I think I fell asleep, but I'm always like, you didn't fall asleep. If you fell asleep, you'd still be asleep. You know what I mean? Like you fall asleep and that's it. And you wake up, 2 a.m. and like, oh my God. But you were still conscious. So you went somewhere. Where that is, we don't know.
I don't know, but when I came to, I know it's gonna sound crazy. I felt drunk. Like I was like, whoa, whoa. Like I just couldn't like get my feet down. Like I felt like I was like I took like 4 Benadryl. And it was just cool to hear everybody else's, incredible visits and, what they got to experience. And I'm just maybe tonight something will show in a dream because I'm dying to know what went on.
I'm glad you even mentioned that too, because when we don't remember all of it or pieces of it, remember the subconscious mind is getting all of it. So you're having the experience. It's just whether the conscious mind is playing along with you. If it's playing along, we remember it. If it's not playing along, it's sort of like, all right, this one just needs to just check out for a little bit. So let's let them check out. That's my interpretation of what's happening when we don't remember. But
And the dizziness coming back, is that I've never had that where I've been like
yeah.
way off.
Yep. So if it feels good and soothing, then I would just leave it. If it's something that feels disconcerting and you feel like, ugh, I don't like the feeling, that's when you just imagine either roots coming out your feet or magnets getting pulled to the earth, like any sort of grounding visualization to
Oh,
bring
no, I
yourself
felt
back
like
in.
I was just like I felt like sedated.
Love it.
So it was good. Thank you.
So if that sedated, sometimes sedated feels like, oh, thank God. So then I would say leave it, stay
Yeah.
there, especially now that it's nighttime and we're about to go to bed. But if that sedated feels like you're not in your body and you don't feel good about it, that's when I would say ground your energy. So it
Okay.
depends. So I'm glad. I would stay sedated. Spiritually sedated. Oh my God, how great would that be a name for like a center?
Or a book.
Spiritual sedation.
A
Yeah.
book. Spiritual sedation. I'd read that.
Me too. I bet you it's better than the monk and the butterfly. I'm writing it down. Spiritual sedation, Leanne P. Gotta quote you on it if I use it.
Oh, thank you.
So, it feels good. Anyone else before we log off for the week? Yeah, go ahead, Joan.
I was off as well, Leanne, but I do remember going downstairs and which was really weird. I haven't thought of this man in many, many years. It's one of my best friend's father. I was walking down the basement of their home and it was like, it's your typical kind of creepy staircase. But then I was gone. I was completely gone. So I don't know where we went, but by gosh. And I came out very peaceful, not quite sedated, but very peaceful. So.
Not 4 Benadryls in?
Sorry? Not what?
4 Benadryls in?
No, not 4 Benadryls in.
That I started to salivate when you said that. I was like, ooh, that sounds like a great feeling. 4 Benadryls in.
I can't even handle 1 Benadryl, yet alone 4.
Oh my gosh, it's great.
But it was good. It was a good one.
Good. So
very
glad.
short to me, though.
What?
It was very short for me.
I felt it was short too, that my alarm startled me. I was like, I don't know if you guys heard the bong from it. I try to quiet it very quickly, but it must be funny to see in the playback because I was like, oh my God, find the off button. And then I'm like, okay, return to our regular broadcast. So yeah, I like these visitation ones. So we don't tend to do them very often. So I like them. But for any of you that had like no one show up or you couldn't see anyone or feel anyone, just know that someone was there, and it's just our logical mind that likes to tell us it's no one's there. It's just means your logical mind's got a grip on you. It's not bad. It doesn't mean no one showed up. It doesn't mean you're not supported. Sometimes someone we don't care for shows up. And when that happens, it's a couple things. Could be you're thinking you're not trusting the ones that you want to show up or need to show up will. And so it's like the unconscious mind is trying to create an olive branch. So it's like forgiveness slash, what's the word I want? When you offer someone an olive branch, you're offering them forgiveness, and there's a certain word I want. Can't think of it. It's like they're suturing something up. Whatever the word for that is. That's not in my brain right now. So it could be that, could be a lot of things. So whatever your experience is, just be with it. Don't try to analyze it after the fact, because it's the brain will then take it into a whole other direction. Just keep it as is for yourselves versus trying to morph it into something else. Don't try to be as the monk and the butterfly doesn't talk about. It does not talk about that. I want to remind everyone too about Monday through Friday's morning meditation is at 6 a.m. The link is in your portal. But if you want me to send it to you separately in an email, if that's easier for you, if you ever want to join in, we're always there Monday through Friday. I do like to know if you are interested in it, so I can put you in our email group just in case those times when I'm not doing it or I'll be away or something. I like to make sure I can contact everybody. So if you are interested, just give me your email so I can add you to that list. What else? Just as a reminder, we still have time, but August 8th, we have an online gallery planned. We're continuing forward with that plan, although Greg's surgery is August 8th, so that was not intuitively picked, but it's Lionsgate, so we're sticking with it. We're sticking with it. It doesn't feel right to cancel yet. So if I cancel it, you'll have more than enough notice. And if it's not canceled, it means all is copacetic and it's right for us to have it. So that's the next online gallery. And I feel like I'm leaving something out, but I don't think so. Anyone else have anything to share or plug for the week, or remind me to share or talk about anything? No. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Joan.
Just out of curiosity, did you do Lori's meditation today?
I forgot, and I'm so mad because I was bored. Remember, I was like, I don't have a paper due. That would have been the perfect.
I missed your Dharma.
Oh, yeah. I was like totally antsy. And I noticed at like, I think it was maybe 6:20. I was like, really? That would have been the perfect thing for me to do at 5 p.m. tonight. So no, I missed it.
But I fell asleep, so.
Ah, there you go. Linda, did you attend? No. Ah.
No, I couldn't get on at that time, but she does repost it, right?
I think she does.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll send the link. Yep.
Yeah. Maybe we should just all coordinate a time that we'll watch it.
Oh,
Plan
that's a
to
good
do
idea.
Good idea. That's a great idea.
We know
So-
we're doing.
When is the full moon though? Is it tonight? It is.
Right? It is the full moon tonight, right, Linda? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Lori is the owner of Mystica, and once a month she does a full moon meditation, and they're fabulous. She does And if anyone wants to like be in on that, send me an email and I'll forward your email to her. So you can be added to it, but it's every month on the full moon. And she'll include a chant, a guided meditation, and something else. What did she do?
Tapping, she did some tapping.
Oh, she did tapping. Yeah. So yeah, it's just 1 hour, short and sweet, and kind of just what we need. So, and it's only for women. I'm sorry, David. Ah, I bet we could sneak you in. We could slip it to you. We could slip it to you. It's a sacred woman. Bonnie, did you go tonight?
I did, and she did quite a bit of qigong.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So
There
did you
was
have
no
to
meditation.
Oh, so see now I know why I didn't. I'd be like, woo, I'm doing qigong and I should be writing a paper.
It was
Or
really nice.
reading the monk and the butterfly. So did she have you standing up or was it a
Yeah.
seated qigong? Oh,
Standing up.
No wonder I fell asleep.
see, the universe was looking out for me.
Yeah, I definitely would not have been able to do that if that were the case.
Yep.
Just because there's no quiet space without.
Yeah, that would have stressed me a little bit, not gonna lie. And qigong is amazing practice, but like to move the table and then to get the angle, and then I'd be stressed that the bed like wasn't made right. You know what I mean? Like I would get the whole visual in the background. So, all right. So the universe looked out for us. That's great.
Though a lot of people had their cameras off when they stood up, they turned off their cameras,
All right.
and that was fine.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Was there chant? Did we miss the
there was a chant. Yeah.
to listen?
And beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah.
Chanting takes the whole meditation thing to a whole other level. And I wish I was comfortable enough for all of you to lead in a chant. I'm not, so I don't feel like I would do that a service, to all of you, because I'd be giggly, even though it's so powerful. Like I'm not giggly when someone else is leading it, but if I did it, it's just not a Deborah thing. So, I mean, like Deborah led thing. I like being part of it, but if you can ever have the opportunity to be in a chanting circle or something, by all means, do it. Try it. Super powerful.
Do you remember the chant from the last one? Because I was trying to look it up, but I didn't know how to spell it, yet alone say it. It's like Om Ha Tatui today,
Oh yeah, that's right.
something like that.
Hang on one second. I can tell you what,
Linda's-
because I
Linda's
saved
best.
it. Yeah, I saved it in my Spotify.
She's good. Yeah, I won't remember, but I did like it too. Yeah, when you start, I mean, that's a whole other level neurobiologically for our brains. Chanting is really good. Like it's spiritually, it's really good. Takes it to a whole other level. So I highly recommend it. In fact, in Mystica next year, we're not doing a yoga class with Lori. We're doing a chanting class with Lori instead of a yoga class. So change that up a little bit. That's reminding me.
Yeah, it was Om Tare, Tara, but then there's more to it, and that's not in the title of this song. I think it was Om Tare, Tutare.
Yeah, Soha or something. I like that Soha.
Yes.
So it is.
Yes, I think the Soha was at the end.
Yeah.
But I'll send you the link for the song.
Thank you. I don't have to write it down now.
And if anyone else wants it, you can send me an email and then if you grab it to me, Linda, send it to me.
Okay.
And if anyone wants it, I'll shoot the message off to you. Send it in an email, not a Facebook Messenger. Some people message me on Facebook and my Facebook's too chaotic with messages. I might not see it.
I'll send it to your email. Joan, do you want me to email it to you or text it to you?
You can text it. That's fine. Thank you.
I'm playing with a little bit. I've gotten certified to teach yoga, but I've never taught a yoga class. And again, I don't know my right from my left. Like it's a true problem. And so I don't feel comfortable. Like I will completely have people it'll be like yoga / twister. Do you know what I mean? Like I will have everyone completely backwards. So like I literally said, Greg, make a left. And he's like, Deb, that's a right. And I'm like, I just follow the hand. Like, I don't know. I think this is my left hand. I think this is my right. It's not, whatever. So this is like a big block for me to teach yoga. However, I do keep wanting to do a yoga class. I want to call it Yoga for the Truly Terrified. And I want it actually more somatic yoga, where we're not really doing traditional yoga poses as much as we're kind of walking through our own psyche in the body. So I'm constructing that. That's also part of my thesis. So it's kind of all coming together. So maybe in the fall, I'll do something like that. Maybe we'll all be my guinea pigs. We could totally have your cameras off. I probably prefer them off because I'll be like, ooh, I said left, didn't I?
So
meant
this
right.
would be the test to do something. What was that? How do you say that? Do something, be brave enough to do something you're bad at, or something like that.
Yes, it's on my screensaver.
Be me.
Well, somatic yoga I wouldn't like do traditional yoga poses, like get into warrior. I wouldn't do a typical vinyasa flow like yoga, although I love that, but I'm more interested in how the mind and the body work and releasing energy through the body. So everyone's poses will look totally different. So this is like an idea that I've had for years and years, and now it's actually coming together. So I don't even know if I'd be able to call it yoga, because it's really not going to be like downward dog, no chair pose, none of that. So how will it look? I don't know. I'm putting it out there. You can give me feedback as to whether that's something you'd be interested in, and we could turn our cameras off so you won't have to be seen.
I think you could call it yoga, somatic yoga, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
yeah, I mean, it's like about breath and movement, like so much more than just the asanas. So I think that's perfect.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm taking your lead on that. Linda's a fantastic actual yoga teacher. So if anyone ever gets the pleasure of taking a class with her, it's like so soothing. So I highly recommend it. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. I'll see you on Sunday, and some of you I'll see tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. So don't forget to take yourselves off of mute to say goodnight.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Night,
Thank you, everyone. Have a good week.
Thanks.
Good
Good
night.
night. Thank you.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.